Test 1 2, test 1 2. How about that one? Test 1 2, test 1 2. Anybody, can you hear me? Oy vey. I know, Crystal. Anybody? There we go. Oh my gosh. All right, good. We're here. Weirdness. Good. We need listen inside. Someone at the side doing the closed caption. I'm here, but I'm not all there. So good. All right, perfect. Whatever. It's not like we don't do this every day. Okay. Anyway, welcome to the program. Thank you for dealing with the craziness. But telephone number to call is 850-771-0049. And we can take your phone calls and your texts, but please no pronouns. Good morning, Justin. Morning, risers. Good to have you with us today. All right. The weather forecast for today. By the way, my name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. And thank you for being here. Thank you, Milton Post, for hosting, and everybody else that shares it. There's a lot of pages that share that. Thank you so much. Forecast for today, foggy early. Then thunderstorms developing this afternoon. Areas of dense fog, high near 70. The chance of rain today, 60%. Then tonight, thunderstorms early. Then variable clouds overnight with a chance of showers, low near 58. Chance of rain overnight, 90. And then tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, occasional rain showers, high near 63. The chance of rain tomorrow, 70% rain. Presently, 65 in Milton, 65 Gulf Breeze, 64 Navarre, and 65 Pensacola. We have stuff out of the way. All right, let's get started. I really don't have any time to spare it out. It's craziness. The number of Escambia County COVID-19 daily hospitalizations is continuing to fall. Do I have that graph? I have a graph here. Oh, there you go. So you can see here, I'll move out of the way. You can see how it has declined over the last month. So high of 270 on January 9th. I guess 279. 281? I don't know. It's weird. But in the red, it's bad. I think it's down to the yellow, and it's dropping again. But you cannot let up. You can't let up. You have to continue to fight. There are 152 people currently hospitalized due to COVID in Escambia County on Wednesday. Now, the hospitalizations between the three local hospital systems are starting to slowly go down. But we still want to get back to the 50 to 75 range. That's according to Mayor Robinson. It's important that we continue to work together to bring these numbers down for our community and for our hospitals. Please be vigilant. Take preventative actions, including wearing a mask, social distancing, washing your hands off, and blah, 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 blah. Let me ask a question. I think it's important. What has wearing a mask and what has washing your hands done? Anybody? Has that done anything? Or is it just a virus that runs its course? I don't know. How many hospitalized for flu? 0. I know, Elizabeth. They don't tell you. Numbers continue to decline post Mardi Gras. Yep. But you got to keep up. You got to keep the mask on. Biden administration, we'll get to that in a little bit, is saying we may not reach herd immunity till Thanksgiving. There you go. From those who said that they're going to fight it. Citing citizen complaints and financial concerns about ticket money going to the state and a private company, the Milton City Council decided to move all red light cameras within the city limits. We talked about that yesterday. Now, this is weird. City's police chief, Tony Tindell, declined to comment on the council's decision, only saying that the council has provided its direction and will figure out a way to make it happen. Tindell said that although his data doesn't support that red light cameras necessarily reduce traffic crashes, they do reduce recidivism rates for first-time red light violators. And nobody's ever complained to him about red lights. Why would you complain to the police chief about red lights? I've not heard one in a long time. Well, Is that where you go with that? I don't know. I don't know. It's odd. But it's gone. So good. Enforce that. We don't need red light cameras at all. At all. No. Now, I would in some areas in Pensacola, yes, because people run those red lights like crazy. Red lights are just suggestions in Pensacola. Local law enforcement agencies are cracking down on those not following new restrictions from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, not only putting an end to maskless riders, but putting a stop to buses for those passengers that do not comply. ECAT. If you refuse to wear a mask, ECAT will not take you to your destination. Furthermore, the county announced if you insist on not wearing a mask while riding, you'll be arrested for trespassing. So while they've been requiring it since January, they've not had a lot of issues. But now that the Biden administration says all public transit has to have a mask, then you got to have a mask. Who would complain? Exactly, Smith. Why would you complain to the police chief? Would he go, you know what? I'm going to go take that down right now. No. Yeah, Donna, I don't know what you're saying what to, but you do have to wear a mask on ECAT. Just saying. 850-771-0049. And if you don't have a mask, they'll provide you one. There you go. Hollywood, don't get ahead of me. I've got that story if I can get to it today. I'm getting to that, John. Florida Walmart and Sam's Clubs will begin accepting and administering the federal allocations of COVID-19 vaccines next week. So you need a Sam's Choice vaccination. Wow. I don't know. Corey says discrimination suits, mask requirements on all buses. Now, I don't know if it's discrimination, but you've got to wear one. And they'll hand you one. They'll give you one. Look, Donna, I don't know if you've seen an ECAT bus or been on one. Yeah, you would. There's not a problem setting them 6 feet apart. Yeah, not big ridership. 850-771-0049. It's not a danger. Aaron Brown was driving down his road when he spotted something on his family's property that required a second look. Here is the picture of what they found. It is a 16-foot python, 300 pounds. That is a beast. That's in Florida. Yeah. Zolfo Springs, 16 feet, 4 inches, weighed 300 pounds. He says, we've run in these woods and barefoot in and out and never seen anything like that. I'm sure you haven't. What? Woo! Mercy. You got to hate that. All right. Instagram on Wednesday said it yanked Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s account for making bogus claims about the virus. Here's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Looks like he's done. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We removed this account for repeatedly sharing debunked claims about the coronavirus or vaccines, a spokesperson said. The prominent anti-vaxxer had 800,000 followers on the platform when his account was banned. Recently, he falsely linked the death of a legendary baseball player, Hank Aaron, to the COVID shot. He didn't link it. That was out there. That was actual news that they were talking about. They didn't know. They said it was a possibility. He also claimed to have been a wave of suspicious deaths among the elderly people who got the vaccine. And that's true. All that is true. Donna could make luggage out of that snake. There you go. You have to touch it first. So, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been kicked off Instagram. He's still got his Facebook, even though Facebook owns Instagram Facebook hasn't taken him down yet. You're being silenced. He's a Democrat. The middle can't be found. Jeep has removed its Super Bowl commercial starring Bruce Springsteen from YouTube and other social media following the revelation on Wednesday that the music superstar had been charged with DUI and reckless driving in his home state of New Jersey in November. It just came out. I saw it yesterday, but you would think that they would know. That can't be a surprise to them. The ad, which was titled The Middle, featured a poem by Trump critic Springsteen calling for Americans to come together and find common ground under Joe Biden. The middle has been a hard place to get to lately, between red and blue, between servant and citizen, between our freedom and our fear, Springsteen said in a voiceover. As for freedom, it's not the property of just the fortunate few. It belongs to us all, whoever you are, wherever you're from. That's the first time that Springsteen's ever done an ad for a brand, probably the last. While the coronavirus pandemic still presents itself as a problem for the travel and hospitality industry, people are getting back to what they perceive as normal. They're not giving up on their vacation plans. More than 50% of travelers from the U.S. are planning to rebook or have already rebooked the trips they canceled in 2020. The survey was conducted in early January by market research company OnePoll, which consulted 2,000 Americans. Of those who surveyed, nearly 60% said they canceled 1 to 4 planned trips last year due to the pandemic. American travelers are hopeful they'll be able to take a trip at some point in 2021 now that vaccines for the coronavirus are being distributed. Now, my question is, if you think so weird, the coronavirus vaccine is not stopping the coronavirus. Now, that's not me. That's not me. That's a news story. And you still have to be careful. You still have to mask up. You still have to wash your hands. You still have to do everything. Social distance. You still have to do everything you're doing now. What does the vaccine do? It doesn't stop you from getting the virus. I'm just saying. That's not me. I'm reading the story. There was 2 tons of trash from the Super Bowl. After the game, the people went out, started to, at 6 a.m. on the next morning, the city went out of around Tampa to pick up trash. Hot spots for pileups they were looking for. "24 hours, they collected over 2 tons of trash. Nice. And yet they still couldn't do anything about that halftime show. There's only so much trash you can pick up. Mardi Gras gets more trash. Why does there have to be trash? Why can't people put something in a container? Can't you have garbage cans? A shot for the Rona 19, a shot for the Rona 20, a shot for the Rona 21. It's like 99 bottles of beer in the wall. Justin says, I'm the only one who still has the "it's getting real, y'all" woman stuck in my head. I don't know what that means. All right. This is funny. This attorney, you gotta love old people and computers. You just do. This happened. Where did it go? I know it's on here. Here it is. The more stuff I have, the harder it is to find. All right, so I'm going to get out of the way so you can see this whole thing. This is a Zoom meeting. um, Attorney Rod Ponton had trouble removing a filter when he presented himself in a virtual court Tuesday morning in Alpine, Texas. Here's how that went. I'm gonna try to disappear out of here.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
Let me try that again. Here we go.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to the
Oh my gosh. I'm live. I'm not a cat. I'm here. Oh my gosh. Too funny. Old people technology, the best. The best. Check your filters before you enter Zoom. Oh, nice. Very nice. 850-771-0049. Important Zoom tip. If a child uses your computer before you join a virtual hearing, check the Zoom video options and make sure the filters are off. The kid made a formal announcement on a case in the 394th. He posted on Twitter. I'm live. I'm not a cat. The CDC states that more than 460,000 people have died from the coronavirus across the country. It's not true. This week, the federal government has announced that they will help pay for funeral costs. The price to help bury a loved one, or the price to bury a loved one, is not cheap. According to the National Funeral Directors Association, the median cost of a funeral in 2019 with a viewing and a burial was $7,640 with a casket. Oh, I'm sorry. With a casket, it's $9,000. Now, who gets buried without a casket? It's between $9,000 and $10,000. All right. It doesn't include the cost of the headstones, flowers, or obituary. Lawmakers announced FEMA will begin reimbursing families up to $7,000 for the costs of COVID-related funerals. So people are like, well, we don't have any money put aside for funeral. I get that. That happens every day in the United States. Do you follow me? Why is a COVID death different than car wreck death? Anybody? Why is a COVID death different than a car wreck death or a cancer death? You plan ahead. There's people that help you do that. And the government should not be paying $7,000. Now, maybe the government can help you secure a loan, but they should not be giving you $7,000. Where is this money coming from? I know, Ken, we can't afford it. $7,000. So they're going to go back to January of 2020 and give $7,000 to every family that lost somebody for every funeral. But what about people this year? Oh, I could if they went backwards, they're going to go forwards. I could just guarantee you. Is this not the most ridiculous thing ever? A lot of funeral homes will not accept bodies with COVID unless they're cremated. They're not breathing on you, so I don't know what that would be. 400,000, try approximately 25,000. I know. I'm not going to ban you. Jeff. I agree with you. Yes, and they're working on it very rapidly. 850-771-0049. What did I do? Did I do something on the scroll wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. It was a little. I had heavy fingers. Heavy fingers this morning. Thank you for keeping me straight. I fixed it. There you go. Mercy, people. It's like I'm married to you. Gina Carano is facing backlash for recent social media posts. This is an actress. There's her picture. Pretty girl. She is from The Mandalorian. Never seen it. Never seen it. However, a conservative actress has drawn ire in the past over various political statements that have irked fans, such as messages about face masks and voter fraud. A slew of social media posts has placed the Mandalorian star at the center of controversy again after she shared some thoughts on Tuesday night. According to Variety, Carano, 38, shared a message on the social media platform which she compared today's political divide to the events in Nazi Germany. A second post contained a photo of a person wearing cloth masks to cover their face and head with the caption, "Meanwhile in California." The outlet reports that both posts were removed from her Instagram by Wednesday afternoon. Others remained, however, including one that repeatedly read, expecting everyone you encounter to agree with every belief or view you hold is effing wild, as another that said Jeff Epstein didn't kill himself. Twitter was ablaze with hashtag fire Gina Carano, while accounts related to Disney's parent company to Lucasfilm and the Star Wars franchise were tagged requesting that she be dropped from the cast of The Mandalorian, which they did. They have fired her because she didn't agree with masks. She's gone. She's done. Bye. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. I want to ask this. So does the public have a right to declare and call for companies to fire actors and actresses that we don't agree with? We want them out. We want them out of the show. And for those companies then to comply. It is so stupid. So dumb. Watch it, don't watch it. Who cares? You got actors and actresses spouting stupidity all the time. Why is this one different? Oh, because she doesn't agree with you. Eight 850-771-0049. Ugh, these people. California man said he was diagnosed with COVID-19 3 weeks after he received his second dose of the vaccine. CBS Los Angeles reporter Gary Michael, who lives in Orange County, Lake Forest, found out that he had the virus after being tested for unrelated health concern. His symptoms are relatively minor, the report said. Oh, so you still get it. It just won't be as bad like the flu shot. He received the Pfizer vaccine. It reported that he first got his first dose on December 28th, his second dose January 18th. A doctor interviewed in the CBS report said he was not surprised about Michael's diagnosis. I think I've heard of 6 or 7 independent cases over the last 3 weeks of individuals that have been vaccinated with different timelines and have tested positive. I think we're going to continue to see that more and more. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you can say it or not, but it is happening. People are getting COVID again. They're getting it again. Disney says MAGA kids head first into the wood chipper. I know. He still has a job. Why don't we call for his resignation? Just axing. I'm just asking a question. Louisiana woman Tessica Brown. Have you seen this? This is one of those things I didn't get to a couple days ago, but this is absolutely hysterical. This woman, Tessica Brown, I lost it. She's considering a lawsuit against Gorilla Glue. Here's the thing. She ran out of hairspray, and she used Gorilla Glue.
Those of y'all that know me know my hair has been like this for about a month now. It's not by choice. No, it's not by choice. When I do my hair, I like to, finish it off with a little got-to-be glue spray. Just to keep it in place.
A little got-to-be glue spray is what she uses on her hair normally.
I don't have any more got-to-be glue spray, so I use this. Gorilla Glue spray.
So Einstein runs out of her got-to-be glue hairspray, and she grabs Gorilla Glue spray adhesive. She puts spray adhesive on her head. Nobody held her down. Nobody did it to her. She did it.
Bad idea. Yo, look, my hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times and it don't move. Stiff wear. Woo! My hair. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. If you ever run out of got-to-be glue spray, don't ever use this unless you want your hair to be like that.
Forever. She's been seeing they put some stuff on her scalp to kind of help dissolve it, but it didn't. It just burned her scalp. She went to see a plastic surgeon yesterday. What kind of stupid do you have to be? I'm telling you, what kind of stupid do you have to be to put Gorilla Glue spray adhesive on your hair? Well, she's suing the company because it doesn't say not to use this hairspray. She's not hilarious. She's an idiot. She's an absolute moron. I hope it stays like that forever. She'll save a ton of money on a hairstylist. She sure will. 850-771-0049. A recent news release from the National Institutes of Health in which the organization repeatedly opted not to utter the word woman. They won't say woman. Instead, they describe them as pregnant and lactating people. In the news release, scientists lamented the fact that thus far pregnant women have not been included in the coronavirus vaccine trials, that due to their exclusion, many pregnant women are now faced the difficult decision of whether or not to receive the vaccine without the benefit of scientific evidence regarding its safety. But you can't say woman because, I don't know, it is pregnant and lactating people. So get your wokeness up. Get your head out of your backside. You can't say women. It's pregnant and lactating people. Piers Morgan. The Gorilla Glue girl, $15K. Do you want to fund people's stupidity? I don't. Here's Piers Morgan, and on his show in it's Good Morning Britain. And he's a liberal, but he hates the PC. He hates the politically correct stuff. Here he is. He is bashing the transgender inclusive policy that instructs midwives at one hospital to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding. Here you go.
Gender language, this story on the front page of the Times, that midwives have been told to refer to chest feeding rather than breastfeeding and replace the term mother with birthing parent. Chan on Twitter, I'm transgender myself, and Morgan is 100% correct. This isn't what the majority of trans people ask for, and it hinders our rights, not helps us. That's my point.
Right.
Is that I want transgender people to have respect and dignity and equality. I don't think you get there by telling midwives to stop using the term breastfeeding because it may upset a few people when 99% of the people in there are breastfeeding. It's nonsense. And this kind of PC cop nonsense with the language has the opposite effect to what you think it does. It annoys people. It doesn't bring them with you. It doesn't bring you on any inclusivity. It becomes exclusive. It alienates people.
Yep. And here's the other part, too. I'm fine with people being offended. Get offended. I'm good with that. Get offended. It's all right. You can survive it. You can survive it a little bit. Butch up chest feeding. Heard that some doctors asked, do you have what? I don't know what that is. Is that sex with sperm producing partners? Oh my. If you say a person is pregnant, isn't that a violation of HIPAA? Sometimes it's pretty evident. Just saying. 850-771-0049. Sometimes it shows itself. An organization of feminists filed a petition on Monday with the Biden Department of Education, requesting that the department make a rule to change Title IX regulations to ensure the rights of women and girls are preserved in all education activities, including sports. The Women's Liberation Front, or WOLF, has condemned President Joe Biden's executive order that removes all legal recognition of the two sexes and eliminates crucial protections for women in the federal government and beyond. Wolf is requesting that Title IX be enforced on the basis of sex, i.e. biological sex, in accord with a memorandum from the Trump Department of Education. It's funny how some of these people are without meaning to endorsing Trump. But it's not fair. It's not a balanced thing to have trans women, guys who think they're girls, compete against girls. No. The girls just need to say, we're not doing it. You have it. You can have it. We're not going to participate. The NFL is losing viewers by the millions. As for Super Bowl 55, showed that the league has lost viewers under the age of 49 for the 9th straight year. Let me find that graph. Check this out. You can see the decline. You can see how it is rapidly going down. Look at that. That is not good news for the NFL. According to Sports Media Watch, Super Bowl 55 saw a decline in 18 to 49 viewer demographic for the 9th year running. That's what all the ads are geared at. The ads aren't geared for old people like me. They're geared towards the young people. That's why they're weird. That's why they're weird commercials. The 2021 Super Bowl lost another 37% of viewers in that age demo over last year's audience. But this year's number is just another dip compared to the past years. The game lost 43% in young viewers 4 years ago and 51% in 2008, this site reported. Pretty amazing. Good. People are tired of the nonsense. It is time they are done with all this wokeness in the NFL. Go away. I want to show you this. What time? I am keep track of my time. I showed this video to you yesterday. This is a question about the Biden administration's going back to school policy. Let me play that for you again.
Swiftly and safely. Could you help us understand what the White House is, or what the president's definition of open schools is? Does it mean teachers in classroom teaching students in classroom, or does it just mean kids in classroom with a remote screen? Help us understand.
Sure. His goal that he set is to have the majority of schools, so more than 50%, open by day 100 of his presidency. And that means some teaching in classrooms. So at least one day a week. Hopefully it's more. And obviously it is as much as is safe in each school and local district.
When you say some teaching, you didn't use the same majority qualifier there. You just have to have some teaching in school, some teachers in school, not the majority of teachers in school and the majority of classrooms.
Well, teaching at least one day a week in the majority of schools by day 100.
Okay, and that's in-person teaching?
In-person teaching, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. So in-person, one day a week, in-person teaching in the first 100 days. That's what we're going to do. And I asked the question, where are we at now? Remember that? I said, where are we at now? Because how can you measure the success if you don't know where we're at now? Are we at 49%? If we just got to have a little over 50% to make it what he wants to do the first 100 days, I got my answer. Having more than 50% of public schools offering at least one day of in-person class a week is behind where the nation's public schools are right now. Biden wants to go backwards. We did it, 100 days. Woo-woo! We're already there. According to data from Burbio, a digital platform that tracks schools data from across the country, 66% of students in kindergarten through 12th grade are already attending traditional in-person classes 5 days a week or on a hybrid schedule, meaning they attend at least one day a week or more. In my first 100 days of in office, I want to have automobiles. Oh, good. We already have automobiles. We're way beyond that. We're 60-some% in our first 100 days. Wow, it's easy to hit the bar when you set the bar so low. I want you to see what a fraud this administration is. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. I knew it when they were saying it. I'm like, there's something hinky about it. And I was right. Holy smokes. 66% are already doing that. And they go, if we can get above 50, the majority above 50, holy smokes, we made it. We made it early. We made it to the Trump. The Biden administration is so good. We made it even while Trump was still in office. Holy crap, people. Do you see how weird this is? Oh. It hurts my head. It hurts my head. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick announced on Wednesday that the Star-Spangled Banner Protection Act will be among his legislative priorities this session. There he is. Dan Patrick. The bill known as Senate Bill 4 is to ensure that the national anthem is played at all events while receiving public funding. It's hard to believe that this could happen in Texas, but Mark Cuban's actions of yesterday made it clear that we must specify that in Texas, we play the national anthem before all major events. In this time when so many things divide us, sports are one things that bring us together. Right, left, black, white, brown. The legislation already enjoys a broad support. I'm certain it will pass, and the Star-Spangled Banner will not be threatened in the Lone Star State again. Texas Democratic Party Communications Director Abhi Rahman issued a statement in response stating, if only Dan Patrick and the rest of his Trump Republican brethren cared more about violent right-wing mob attempting to overthrow our Capitol than they do about what private organization chooses to play at their home games. Patrick isn't a patriot. He's a secessionist coward whose rhetoric and actions incited the violence that we saw in the Capitol, leaving 6 people dead. Well, let's talk about that just a moment. Because it's not 6 people, it's 5. The one person we know that died in the violence was a young woman who was shot by Capitol Hill police. There was a police officer that died, did not die from being hit by a fire extinguisher. He talked to his brother several hours after the scuffle on Capitol Hill, and he told his brother, I was sprayed a couple times with pepper spray, but I'm all right. But he died the next day. He wasn't hit. He wasn't bludgeoned. There's no marks on his body. One guy had a stroke. One guy had a heart attack. And they think the other woman was trampled. Other than that, out of 5 people that died, 1 died violently, and that was at the hands of Capitol Hill police. Run that around in your brain a little bit, my friends. I'm trying to see where I'm at. Twitter CFO said that when social media platform permanently banned former President Donald Trump from their platform, they meant forever. We mean business, my friends. We will not put up with this. On Wednesday morning, Twitter CFO Ned Siegel told CNBC, when you're removed from the platform, you're removed from the platform. Our policies are designed to make sure that people are not inciting violence. He was removed when he was president, and there'll be no difference for anybody who's a public official once they've been removed from the service. So, because Black Lives Matter is not an official, they can post all the violence they want. Jen Psaki again. Let me grab this one. This is so dumb. So it's about the transgender rights and high school sports. Here you go.
Transgender rights executive action, specifically when it applies to high school sports. What message would the White House have for trans girls and cis girls who may end up competing against each other?
If you don't know what a cis girl is, trans girl and cis girls, CIS girls, cisgender, are people that identify with the sex that they're born. So you're a little boy, you got little boy parts, and you go, you know what? I'm using common sense. I'm a little boy. I got little boy parts. I must be a boy. That's a cisgender. No, not visco. Cis girls. So if you are cisgender, you are normal. You identify with the equipment God gave you. Just saying. We continue.
Some lawsuits and some concern among parents. So does the administration have guidance for schools on dealing with disputes arising over trans girls competing against and with cis girls?
I'm not sure what your question is.
The president's executive order had.
I'm familiar with the order, but what was your question about
The
it?
question is, does the president have a message for local school officials on dealing with these kind of disputes that are already starting to arise between, trans girls who are competing and cis girls, and a level playing field, particularly in high school sports when it leads to college scholarships? Is there any kind of messaging or clarification that the White House wants to give on the executive order?
I would just say that the president's belief is that trans rights are human rights, and that's why he signed that executive order. And in terms of the determinations by universities and colleges, I would certainly defer to them.
So she just, president believes in trans rights are human rights. What about the rights of the girls who are not confused about their equipment? What about their rights? What about their scholarships? Don't they have a right to get a scholarship for sports because they're fast? Oops, not so fast. It doesn't work when you're being beaten out by boys who can't figure out that they're boys. And Biden wants to have them shoved into girls' sports because that's how they identify. No, no, no. That's how stupid this administration is. They're so woke, they're stupid. Oh, my goodness. I can't take the tolerance. I can't take this insanity. The 97% of people who are normal, it's probably more than that, Jim. I'm hoping. I have hope. Members of the Biden administration are open to requiring negative COVID-19 tests for passengers boarding domestic flights, a position that's prompted objections from lawmakers, medical experts, and many in the travel industry who worry that the requirement would further decimate air travel and could be unworkable. Over the weekend, Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary, was in active conversation with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention over whether to institute the requirement. What I can tell you is it's going to be guided by data, by science. Wait, is this the same science where you guys can't figure out if a girl's a girl and a guy's a guy? Same science? The same science that can't decide how many genders there are? That's science. It's going to be by data, by science, by medicine, and by the input of the people who are actually going to have to carry this out. He indicated that the tighter safety measures could even encourage passengers to return to the skies. Really? Really? See, trans rights Our human right translates to if you're straight, you have no rights. No, it won't. Elizabeth, the whole world is this bizarre. And the Olympics are going to be no different. No different. Junk science. It's not science. If I had science like that in high school, if I did my science that way in high school, I wouldn't have passed it. I barely passed as it was. Video footage presented by Democrats this week in Trump's impeachment trial has told only part of the story. Democrats repeatedly stressed Trump's fight like hell remark at the rally as they look to convict Trump on January 13th House impeachment charge of inciting an insurrection. But at another point in his speech, Jordan noted that Trump urged his supporters to peacefully and politically or patriotically make your voices heard. The Democrats edited that out. They were withholding evidence. It's there, but they're only showing you what they want you to see. They edited out where he said peacefully and patriotically. The one line from the president's speech that wasn't in the Democrats' video is the line that's most important. Nice. That's the Democrats. Never the truth. Never, ever, ever the truth. Senator Lindsey Graham told Hannity on Wednesday that the Democrats' case for impeachment against former President Trump is getting weaker by the day. And he pointed to new details about the days leading up to the Capitol riot and questioned if House Speaker Nancy Pelosi knew about the threat. The Washington Post, citing an internal document, reported last month that prior to the deadly January 6th riot, the FBI office in Virginia issued a warning that extremists were headed to Washington, D.C. for war. Pipe bombs were also later discovered near the Capitol and were placed there right before the reports. The revelations seem to contradict clearly early claims that Trump's speech that day led to the unrest. Here's what I want to know. What did Nancy Pelosi know? When did she know it? Graham says he also made clear that he believed anyone who broke into the Capitol should be punished. Right? And Pelosi's office did not immediately respond to an email. What did she know? They knew beforehand. They knew beforehand. Yeah, yep. Kamala is guilty of that all the time. She's being very quiet. While it's not unusual for sales to spike with new administration pledging tighter gun restrictions, the riots, protests, and Capitol insurrection of recent months have created a perfect storm for increased gun buys. In the last month, gun sales popped 80% year over year, in sync with the uptick in background checks and sales of firearms and ammunition. In January, 4.3 million people obtained background checks, up from 2.7 million. And that follows a record-breaking year for background checks in 2020 with 39.7 million. Gun stores like Key Firearms and Training, based in Chicago, have seen the rate of purchases increase over the past year, propelled by uncertainty and panic buying. Sales grew to an unprecedented 2.1 million last March when the pandemic-related lockdowns and stay-at-home orders went into effect. People feeling good about what? People feeling good about the Biden administration, the unity. You feeling that? You feeling it? I don't think so. I mentioned this earlier. Top members of President Joe Biden's coronavirus advisory team reportedly believe the United States may not reach COVID-19 herd immunity until much later than previously thought. The goalposts have been moved. Fauci, chief medical advisor to Biden, predicted in December that America could reach the herd immunity threshold by the summer if the majority of Americans, 75 to 80%, are inoculated with the vaccine by the second quarter of 2021. In fact, Fauci claimed Americans would see a return to normality by the fall if the general public participates in broad vaccination campaigns. Biden said during an interview with CBS that aired during the Super Bowl that achieving herd immunity before the end of summer will be very difficult. Now, members of Biden's team believe the U.S. may not reach herd immunity until Thanksgiving or even later. Why are they extending it? Because you won't get the vaccine. They're working on making it mandatory. We gave you an opportunity, you wouldn't take it. And because we know what's best for the country, you will be required to get vaccinated. Gotta love that. All right. I want to share a couple videos. I'm not going to play the whole thing because they're very long, but there's some great stuff in here. This is from the impeachment trial yesterday. Chaos erupted at the end of the second day of the second impeachment trial now former President Donald Trump. House Democrats were forced to withdraw from the record of a statement a GOP senator said was falsely attributed to him after Senate Democrats lost control of the proceedings while they sought to wrap up for the day. So this is David Cicilline. He recalled a public reporting that then President Trump allegedly called Senator Mike Lee by accident when he meant to call Tommy Tuberville. Here it is.
Shortly after 2 p.m., as the siege was fully underway, then President Trump made a call. This is the first call that we are aware he made to anyone inside the Capitol during the attack. Didn't call the vice president to ask how he could help defend the Capitol. Didn't call the next two in line to the succession of the presidency to check on their safety or well-being. Instead, he attempted to call Senator Tuberville. He dialed Senator Lee by accident. As Senator Lee describes it, he had just ended a prayer with his colleagues here in the Senate chamber, and the phone rang. It was Donald Trump. And how Senator Lee explains it is that the phone call goes something like this. Hey, Tommy, Trump asks, and Senator Lee says, this isn't Tommy, and he hands the phone to Senator Tuberville. Senator Lee then confirmed that he stood by as Senator Tuberville and President Trump spoke on the phone. And on that call, Donald Trump reportedly asked Senator Tuberville to make additional objections to the certification process. That's why he called. Now, let's be clear, at roughly 2 p.m., when Donald Trump was walking around the White House, watching the TV delighted, and spent 5 to 10 minutes talking to Senator Tuberville, urging him to delay the election results, this is what was happening in the Capitol.
All right. So there you got, he's saying this is Mike Lee, got a phone call. All right. So let me play this for you. This is Mike Lee. And Mike Lee doesn't remember it that way at all. There's a lot of pauses here, so we'll try to talk through it. The judge is not a judge, it's Leahy.
Recess for the evening and to finish our opening statement tomorrow.
Mr. President.
Okay, here you go. Here's Mike Lee.
Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Pursuant to Impeachment Rule 16, I make a motion. Statements were attributed to me moments ago by the House impeachment managers. Statements relating to the content of conversations between a phone call involving President Trump and Senator Tuberville were not made by me. They're not accurate, and they're contrary to fact. I move, pursuant to Rule 16, that they be stricken from the record.
All right, now chaos ensues. Leahy has no idea where he's at. He's as bad as Biden. Look at him. He is confused. He's looking at
47, Section 4. Parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution.
Now, this girl that's in front of him keeps pointing to stuff because he can't find it. I couldn't hear what he said. He's appealing the ruling.
Mr. President.
So she's got
Mr. President. Mr. President. Right here.
Right here.
We might as well hear clearly what the ruling of the chair was. So if you would repeat that.
Of course, I will. And
as soon as he figures out what's going on.
47, Section 4, the parties' presentations are not limited.
This girl's trying to help him. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah.
Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. The senator from Utah has appealed that ruling. Is that correct?
Yes, I have.
Have you? And the yeas and nays have been requested. Sufficient.
And what is the question? Is it, shall the ruling of the chair be sustained? Is that the question?
Yes.
Whether the ruling of the chair with respect to
No.
You hear the uproar. Hear the uproar.
My point was not about whether it's appropriate for them to make characterizations. My point was to strike them because they were false.
And now they don't know what to do. They're like, oh. They're in chaos. He is drunk. He's just old and addled.
The question is whether Senate Resolution 47, Section 4.
No, it's not. He doesn't understand.
Presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that
resolution.
My gosh.
Mr. President, that is not my motion. You've ruled on a motion. You've ruled on something that was not what I moved. What I asked was, statements were attributed to me repeatedly, as to which I have personal knowledge because I am the source. They are not true. I never made those statements. I asked that they be stricken. This has nothing to do with whether or not they're based on depositions, which they're not. It's simply based on the fact that I'm the witness. I'm the only witness. Those statements are not true, and I ask that you strike them.
and so it goes. This is the chaos. They were in total disarray yesterday. The Democrats, they're being called on their lies. Yep. But Leahy has no idea what he's doing or where he's even at. This is the Democrat Party today. Hate gets in the way of common sense. There's that word again. Hey, kids, we got to get out of here. Tomorrow's Friday. You have a great Thursday. Hopefully we'll see you then. Share it with somebody you love. God bless you. Stay strong.